We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast. And I have my host, Megan, from South Africa, and my host, Melissa, from US, from Arizona. Arizona? No,
Texas.
Texas. I'm sorry. Okay. And myself, US and global. Oh, here comes Jackie. I knew. Okay. And myself from Florida. And I run a global program. So I'm in 58 countries now. And we have Jackie that's joining us. And Jackie is from Arizona. And her heart is absolutely global. She runs a global program. And we are so excited to have Nestene from South Africa as our guest today. We cannot wait to hear her story. So, Nestene, come join us.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me, Carol, Melissa, Jackie, Megan. I'm really, really excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So Nestene, come and just share your story with us. Tell us what you're up to. And I know a little bit about your bio, and this is very, very exciting. I'm so excited to know there's somebody else out there that's doing something similar to me. So come share.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So I don't know if I'm going to take the full 20 minutes, but I will
No
try.
worries, no worries. And you'll be surprised.
Um,
Go for it.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm Nestene Botha. I'm a chartered accountant from South Africa, and my background is in academia. So I teach accounting education. That's my corporate background, and I've also worked in corporate accounting. So, corporate accounting into accounting education. That's where I'm from. Masters in accounting education, top 35, under 35 chartered accountants in the world, top 50 women accounting in the world. So accounting is really the space that I come from. So I was running my accounting firm back when COVID started. I was running an accounting firm, and my client list was made up of a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs. And as a small business owner myself, I was super passionate about, serving these people, helping them grow, assisting them in whatever way we could on the numbers side, and really getting very involved in their business models a lot of the time. Now, when something like COVID happens and you're faced with that much uncertainty, I was fearing for what is going to happen to my clients, because not only will I be out of work if they don't make it, but I actually care about them. So I would be very sad if they don't make it, and they would be too.
Mm.
At the same time, when you have that amount of clients, it's impossible to go to 300 small business owners and say, look, I'm going to give you some advice. This is what we need to do. I mean, you can try and put it all in webinar format, but the amount of support that they were needing was just so much. So I knew it was a project that was a bit bigger than me and even a bit bigger than my business team back then. So at this point in time, this is where I started talking to Peter. So Peter is the opposite of me. The talking didn't come easy. Because he's from the community building experience side, a complete different world from where I'm at, where I got most of my knowledge studying and, following the kind of traditional route through life. He got most of his knowledge and experience by actually going out, seeing people, doing projects, getting the real experience. So he was an insane people's person, and I was an insane academic person. And we started speaking, and obviously, in his industry at the time, things were also quite like upside down and different, and lots of uncertainty and change. Um, and so what he told me was, but Nestene, you already have the solution. Instead of trying to save 300 people by yourself, like a freaking superhero, what if we introduce the 300 people to each other and let them start saving each other? Um, I mean, how amazing would that be? And I looked at him and I was like, "But yeah, that sounds great, but I've never seen that really happen in practice. So I don't know how well this is going to work. Maybe it's just going to make them feel a bit better, but in terms of actually bringing what they need, I don't know. I don't know. But, we didn't have a better solution, so we gave it a go. He created a WhatsApp group with me and all my clients in it. This was my absolute worst nightmare. I wanted to run away. I told him, do you know what's going to happen if all of these people try to talk to me the whole entire day? My charge out rate is X amount per hour. So I'm going to invoice you for every time they now message me. But anyway, so he told me I need to banter in this group. And again, I was like, why would I do that? Do you understand? I'm a small business owner. I have 16 hours of work on my plate a day. How many hours a day do you want me to spend on this bantering? And also define what bantering means. Um, so that's how it started. Megan became part of this group, so she witnessed all of this firsthand. We had a couple of amazing other entrepreneurs that became part of this group. We had a copyright from the US, Stephen Westwood. We had a leadership coach from South Africa, Mr. Stephen Levy, a fascination coach, Karen Greef. And all of these people just kind of started to pull together into this group. And again, I was very unsure about this, but I was like, okay, let's give it a proper go. I even told one or two. Oh, no, wait, I didn't tell any jokes. I laughed at some of the jokes, okay? And I made some inspirational comments. So that was my contribution. I was like, I'm learning this banter thing. Okay, it's happening. Now, what happened 3 months later was one of the entrepreneurs that got involved in the group. He's a website builder. So back then he was building websites for craft entrepreneurs or art entrepreneurs. And it really wasn't going very well. It was a side hustle that was costing him money. Um, and he was still working full time. But then came the shocker. So 3 months later, he's now part of this community. Everyone has now started caring about everyone else. He gives us a call and he says, I've just been retrenched. And at that point in time, as a numbers person and an accountant, I'm looking at his numbers and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do from here. And we don't have the capacity to I mean, it's what it's going to take to get this person. And he has a family. He has like, what is going to happen from here? So at that point in time, the first feeling that I felt was loss. I was like, oh, well, I guess there goes Renee. Um, and it was my partner that actually turned to me and he did the most weirdest thing. He was like, it's going to be all right. I'm going to call three of the people in the community. We'll put this out in the community and let's just help you as much as possible. So I pulled in the leadership coach, he pulled in the copyright marketing expert from the US, and a couple of other people. And he put this out in the community saying one of our members now actually needs help. And 3 months later, Renee called us back and he said, guys, I just want to tell you, thank you so much. I am now earning 115% of my previous salary. And as someone that has left corporate and had to, start my own business, I mean, I wasn't able to achieve that. It took me a much longer time to reach 115% of my salary. So seeing this happen in real life, I think that was kind of disciple moment for me. It was the moment that was like, oh, this is what Peter was talking about. This is why I don't get to bully you when I need to banter. I understand now. It's starting to come together. And that for me was really, really special because, in my business, I've been able to make a lot of difference in people's lives with the support that I could give them, but I've never been able to do that for someone else. And that's where the power of community really, really came through. And ever since then, I've been fully on board. I banter regularly. You can ask Megan if you don't believe me. We've built relationships with all of these entrepreneurs from all across the world, and the community has literally just grown stronger and stronger. And it's then that ingredient, that magic ingredient of this community that we then used to create our entrepreneurial course. So when I did my master's degree and in the PhD that I'm currently pursuing, we learn a lot about experiential learning and collaborative learning theory, inquiry learning theory, all of that. And it's all very impressive. But it's almost like I was seeing this happening in real life in a very informal, casual way. That is what was actually happening. That is why the community was so powerful in creating the solutions that it did for its members. So what I thought then was, well, what I can do from my side is bring my expertise in course building and academia and theory to the plate, and we can take what Peter's created, the community and all of that, and put that in the plate. And we'll build a supercharged entrepreneurial program that can deliver this kind of result for all entrepreneurs around the world. And thank you so much for all of the love that you guys are showing. It really is appreciated. Really appreciate that. So yeah, so that is what we're doing at the moment. We're putting that program out in the world and we're delivering it to different institutions. So instead of going to entrepreneurs one by one and getting them to pay for it, we try and go via institutions, corporates, tertiary institutions, your universities and colleges. And we take the case studies to them to show them the results that we've had. And then we ask them if they want to be a part of this journey. Do they want to bring this kind of experience to their students? And then when they say yes, we're super, super happy. And then we get to reach as many people as possible in that way. So that's the story,
Wow.
ladies. That's it.
Wow. Uh, wow. I'm so inspired. So, so inspired. Okay, who has questions for Nestene? I do. I have a question for you. Okay, so you and I are doing something very similar because I absolutely believe the power of community can reach mountains, can change the world. And so that is where I come from, and and you had to get there. But what I want to know is, inside of this community that you've created, how are how are you getting it out to others to know the power of community? How are you sharing what you are doing with others that others can go, wow, I want to do this. I want to create a community that's this powerful. How are you being able to do that, Estine?
So thank you, Carol. It's a really good question. I find that it's actually really difficult to bring that across to others because you can talk about it, you can tell them about it, but even if they leave a first meeting, for example, really excited, you can just see that they don't quite believe that it can be that good. So the only way to do it is to show them. So we'll tell them about Renee, but we won't just tell them about Renee. We'll introduce them to Renee because Renee is now still part of the community, is a walking success story. And we'll put the case studies out there, and then we'll actually invite them into the community to check it out for themselves and see what it really is all about.
Hmm.
So it's definitely difficult. So I think it's such a relevant question. But I feel like the more people we can reach and every life that we do change, that's the evidence. And those are also the people that go out there and can say, yeah, no, this is actually what it's all about.
Oh, I love that. And I'm just going to offer something to you. I actually have created a leaders program where they are actually creating their own communities because they've seen the power of community. They've been involved in ours for some time. And now, in the leaders program, they're going to be creating their own communities out there. So that might be something inside of people that already believe in the power of community that you actually inspire them and enroll them in taking it out and creating their own communities.
Love that. Thank you. What a cool suggestion.
Absolutely. All right, Jackie, you have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know the logistics a little bit more about what you actually did as the group. Can you kind of elaborate on that more? Because that pattern, let me just preface it with it. In the 1990s, I know I'm older than dirt. In the 1990s, I put together networking groups, and one of them, with combined efforts from beginning to end, made over $1 million, because they all sequenced from one to another. Now, is that what's happening, or is it more in the community itself?
So it's the logistics around how the community actually functions. Am I right? Is that what the question is about?
Yeah, yeah. What part does the community as a community play versus those that are in business that are in part of the group? I mean, can you explain it all, that involvement, if they're separate or they are one, or how you do that?
So we basically do a lot of our networking via WhatsApp. So all of the
Okay.
community building work and the communication, the banter, all of that happens in the actual WhatsApp group. And my partner, who is the expert in community building, actively participates in and guides that group. So a lot
Mm.
of our values, vision, the way that we treat each other, what we want to do, all of those things are kind of instilled in everyone that joins the community from the get-go. So, for example, people can't just join. So anyone can't just sign up and decide, I'm joining this community right now. They have to have a meeting with my partner. Then he will actually do that introductory, okay, are we a good fit for each other? Let's measure, do the values mission up, does our vision align, etc. And so it literally it's culture, it's the power of culture that makes it work. And that literally happens from even before someone would join the community and then right through from there.
Wow. Wow.
And so then once they've joined, then you're able to tell me what you actually make happen, the results.
So once they join, what we do is we have a journey set out, but in a very casual way again.
Mm.
So they every entrepreneur that joins gets a set of introductions, so they kind of get pointed in the right way. So we will listen first to what their business is all about, where they are currently at, what their struggles are. And then similarly to the Renee story, we'll say, okay, you need to speak to the copywriter, and then you need to speak to the leadership coach, and then you need to go and speak to
Okay,
this
so
person.
brainstorming.
Um,
Got it.
yeah, and then as that journey kind of then takes shape, as they meet more and more people in the community and more people add to the pot, they then will periodically come back to me and my co-founder so we can again point them in the right direction.
Okay,
Wow.
and is there a
Beautiful.
charge to be part of the group?
Yes, there is. It's currently $45 a month.
Cool to
Wow.
know. I know.
Okay.
I,
Um, yeah.
I, it's yours now, Carol.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Melissa, she has her hand up. Go ahead, Melissa.
Thank you. So Nestene, I just want to acknowledge you for creating something out of, the COVID pandemic and having your love and passion for your clients and wanting to, support them in such a big way and have them support each other. So, there is power in community. And I think that at least those of us on this call, we know how powerful community can be. But it is something to create a community that works well together. So congratulations on doing that. I was going to ask you, what is your favorite case study or success story? I love to hear good news and how people are thriving in their business. I'm a mindset coach and I help people with money. So very similar, to you. But what is your favorite story?
So I have a couple. Definitely the first one is like the one that I already mentioned, the Renee success story. That was just so amazing. Like even if I look at where Renee is at today, he runs his own global web development agency. He has a team. Whenever we go out for coffee, he's the one that pays. He's doing amazing. So that's definitely one of the favorites. I think the next one would probably be our virtual assistant. So Somerville is based in Bala Bala. And when she joined our group, our community, shortly after Renee joined, she had been she had one client, she was a virtual assistant, and she'd been looking for more clients for 2 to 3 years, and she just couldn't crack the code. So she joined our group and we gave her some advice. We sent her in the right direction. And within 3 months, she had 12 global clients. And that happened all through her helping out different, community members that we had pointed out, and then referring her basically. And today she also owns her own virtual assistant agency, and she's too busy for it. So we can't have all of her anymore, but we wish we could. But absolutely amazing. They just did a road trip down to Cape Town the other day, and they were actually visiting us, her whole entire family. So yeah, no, that's definitely also one of the highlights. Thanks for asking, Melissa.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, Megan.
Thanks, Carol. Nestene, I've been in your space for what feels like forever and a day. I've been part of the Explore ProTech community since 2021, guys. And I think Peter and Nestene have seen me through all my struggles and my challenges. And, I joined them when I was less than a year old in this business and just as confused as they come. I remember Nestene and Peter saying to me, can we focus on one thing? And I'm like, nope, my brain doesn't work like that, right?
I can hear him saying that too. He's such a beautiful soul. It's a wonder he hasn't been part of this, actually, Megan. I'm sure that he's too busy because he's amazing.
Absolutely. But we will drag him here one day.
Yeah,
We'll just have to
probably will.
Him, right?
Yeah, when he gets bored. That won't happen.
Yeah. But I must tell you guys, the one thing, and I think I shared this in one of our YEA meetings the other day, Nestene and Peter's space, Explore ProTech, is one of the spaces that really taught me to step out of my comfort zone, purely because they come and they meet you where you are as an entrepreneur. So it doesn't matter which level of entrepreneur you're at or what kind of challenges you're facing. This is where the community surrounds you. And when I went for my interview to become a member, I said to them, I really want to be a part of this space. I'm all for it. The only thing is, I don't do lives. I don't do YouTube. I don't, all of those things. It took them a week. It took them a week to get me on a YouTube live. And every week thereafter for I don't know how long, it was just a matter of Nestene messaging me frantically one evening and going, oh, our guest has messaged me to say they can't make it. Can you please be on at this time? And I'm like, right, okay, I'll do that. Done. And that's where it started. So I think from my perspective, certainly it's one of those places that really meets you where you are, and they can, from experience, tell where you are sitting. And it's a very tight-knit community. And so, as you mentioned, the leadership coach will step in and say, Meg, think you and I need to chat. And it's one of those circumstances where I literally, for that first year and a half, I built my business, or the foundation of my business, in that space with the support of people that really cared about what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go and how I wanted to do it, which is so different to many other spaces. So I absolutely just want to send some love to Nestene and Peter for that, because I think that is the one element that might be missing from a lot of the other communities, is the fact that you just feel at home and you feel seen in that space, and that's where people thrive. So thank you.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Um, your story is going to inspire many, many, many women out there, many people out there, actually. Um, thank you so much, Nestene, for coming and sharing it with us. And guys, if you love these episodes, please, please subscribe to the channel, make comments, and share it with everyone. Share it with everyone. Share it. And we're all over LinkedIn, guys. We are in so many different social media platforms. Please, if you'd like to be a guest on our platform, in our podcast, please reach out to one of us and let us know you'd like to be a guest and inspire many women across the world. Once again, we do episodes on Mondays and Fridays, and please join us again. Thank you. And guys, go out there and thrive. We don't have to survive and struggle life. Let's thrive together. Bye, everyone.